of the Eavesdrop podcast. Today, one of the guys that I wanted to do a podcast with for the longest time. At one point, we discussed having an actual, the Maven and Hecz podcast, right?
Many times. Over the years, I think we've talked about it probably 5 to 10 times.
And then every single time that we're in an event, we say, let's do a podcast. And
then we end up drinking or something and not doing it.
Yeah. And it's not good.
I'm excited to be here, though. Now we actually get to hang out. I live like a half hour from you, so this is nice. Let's have some fun.
The thing about that, though, is that we said, all right, we live next to each other, but we don't ever hang out.
Like once a month? It probably should be a lot more. But the fact that I haven't been going out as much is probably a problem, too. So
yeah, because the wives get along, or the wife and the girlfriend get along.
Why don't they make plans? Like, Kat's always like, what are you and Hector up to? Let's do dinner. I'm like, what do you hit up, Jude? Let's do something.
Why don't you hit up Jude, and why don't you guys still go do something?
Yeah. Don't do anything.
Can you imagine if Maven doesn't drink anymore, and we'll talk a little bit about that. We'll talk a little bit about that. But
I'm a saint.
Can you imagine if you were Maven, the old Maven, and then you and I got it, because we used to do it. We used to run it up. Mm-hmm. We used to run up the tabs. Mm-hmm. Can you imagine both of our girls seeing us like that? I don't think Jude has ever. Well, actually, yes.
I wouldn't have. I wouldn't.
She 100% has.
Kat's only seen me like real bad a couple times, and she wasn't a fan.
No.
No.
I don't know, Jude. I mean, I'm not saying the cat isn't, but Jude's always been like the coolest when it comes. Like if I come home just like almost blacked out, like she'll be waiting at the door. The Uber comes up, she opened the door, bottle of water.
No. Cat's like that was really it's not attractive look, and I'm like, oh shit, I'm disappointed in you type thing. I'm like,
man. So there's a ton of stuff that I want to talk to you about.
Let's do it.
And it goes all the way back to your Halo days. Anyway, let's get it started. Maven, who are you today?
Who am I? I am an esports commentator, currently working on the Call of Duty World League. Last year, I won 2018 Broadcaster of the Year, so I guess people think I'm pretty good at it.
Yeah, I think you're pretty good at it.
Thank you.
I think you're really good at it.
I appreciate that. But no, there's not a lot of really good commentators in esports. I think I'm one of them, and I love it. So that's what I'm doing right now. I mean, that's basically my sole focus outside of dabbling in streaming and stuff. But for the most part, I am a commentator for esports. So if you're new to esports, I'm basically like your Joe Buck, Al Michaels, like for Call of Duty. It's pretty great.
Joe Buck. And who else?
Al Michaels, like
the sports commentator.
Yeah. So if you watch the NFL or anything, it's like some of the main commentators.
I don't watch that many sports anymore. The only thing that I watch religiously is Call of Duty competitions and Counter-Strike competitions.
I love me some Counter-Strike too.
Like right now, IAM is going on, and so is E-League. We didn't make it to either one of those. No. It's not taking a jab. It's just the chips didn't fall where they should.
They're working on things.
Yeah, but they've been working on things for.
I actually haven't watched CS:GO in a long time. I got burnt out on it. I used to play it a ton. I used to watch every event, but then there was just there was a period I watched it. It felt like there was an event every single weekend, and I just got sick of it. I haven't played in years. I haven't watched it. I'll watch the big ones, but the major, that's about it.
The thing with Counter-Strike, and I was talking to Richard Lewis about it. It's oversaturated. It's every single weekend. Where in the past, look, if I'm Valve or anybody that controls anything CS:GO related. I mean, even if teams get together and create their own leagues, I think there has to be something that we can do to where we don't necessarily. It's too much, and I like Counter-Strike. I've never played it because I know how my personality is an addicting personality, and I don't want to get.
Well, that game's it's tough. It's like golf too. It's like if you take time off, you just stink again. Like you have to play. If you play CS, you have to play every day. Yeah. At least for me, I had to play every day. If I took a couple days off, I just was awful again.
Yeah, and I would. Days. One of the
you have to just go hard.
Well, at the beginning of this year, or when did Blackout come out?
October? Oh, well, the beta was September or August?
Yeah.
Came out, COD dropped October 12th.
So it wasn't until mid-December that I started playing religiously. The Blackout is all I play all day, every single day.
I've been on that grind.
Yeah. But the thing is I knew that I was going to be addicted to it, and I knew that the vlog was going to suffer. I wasn't going to be able to vlog because I'm sitting down, and I knew that I wasn't going to be able to do anything else outside of that. Even streaming, I don't want to just jump in when I haven't gotten the full, the comfort of being good at it.
Well, you're like me. You have a very addictive personality. Part of the reason I haven't been drinking either. Yeah. But no, it's like I'm 100% or I'm 0% with everything. So I get it.
Yeah.
That's why I can't play multiple games at the same time. For the most part, I'll play something on my Switch from hanging out with Kat or watching TV. But as far as games I'm grinding, I have to have one. If I start playing something else, the other game's on the backseat until I'm done with that. I just play one
Kat's
game.
his girlfriend.
Oh, Kat's my girlfriend. Yeah.
Yeah, so right now you're playing a lot of Black. Are you streaming, which is super awesome? I always recommend to every esports personality, and I'm talking about from content creators. Well, not content creators because they're already creating content, but pro players and commentators. Like there's not a lot of content that needs to be created. And we were talking about how in Counter-Strike you have a lot of talented commentators, the same way that we do in Call of Duty, the same way that they do in League of Legends. The same there's a missed opportunity for every single caster out there to not have a podcast. It makes no sense to me. If a commentator and an analyst for whatever game out there get together and create, there's an audience there because they need to. There's like a need for content, always a need for content.
I guess I found it all right with just, for me, streaming, just because like I do right now, I commentate for the league. I also do Hot Mic, which is kind of like a podcast type thing for the CWL. I'm on Trading Shots, which is like a show for the CWL. So the reason I like the streaming side is it's like, the reason I haven't done like a podcast is I still feel like, well, I guess I wouldn't need to be as professional on that. But the reason I like the streaming side is I can kind of just be myself, swear, say whatever the hell I want. Whereas when I'm commentating, do all that stuff, I have to be, maven on camera. Whereas
publicly
I can be
traded company,
myself a little bit more on the streaming side. But I've thought about the podcast before. It's just hard to think about, like with the, I have two different lives. Like when the league's on, my time is just so minimal compared to when we're off season. So it's like I have two different parts of the year basically where it's probably a lot more realistic in my off season. That's for sure.
As a commentator, do you have to watch every single match? Like the pro down, do you go home tonight and look at who won and who did what?
I look at the results and then watch maybe any big matches, but every match, no. I mean, even like think back, we just had the Pro League qualifier, which was like finding the final teams for the Pro League. 28 teams went in, 12 got out. And Joe and I were commentating at the same time. There were like 3 to 4 other matches going on. Like it's just impossible. If I wanted to go back and watch them before the next day, I literally didn't have time. There's not enough time. So just try to watch the big ones. What
did you think, man? Obviously, FaZe didn't make it in. Parasite's team didn't make it in. G2 didn't make it in. That's a lot of talent there. What happens? Like we were just, it was Crim 69. We were talking about it, and we were like, what do you do? Like, what would Nate have done if 100 Thieves didn't get in?
Well, if you're an org, I mean, you have the opportunity to try and buy a spot, like buy it from a team, I guess is your chance. I don't know the exact rules behind it, but you can try and buy in. If you're a player, I mean, getting picked up as a sub, that's all the teams can do right now. All you can do is add a sub and they can fill in and replace. But until I think it's a third of the way into the league before Fort Worth, you can actually, it's unlimited roster moves. So a team could drop all their players, bring in the entire FaZe roster if they wanted to. So there's opportunities still. And like this year too, for the amateur side, there's like more money than ever, and they don't have to play against the pros. So like if you want to just be FaZe and stick together, you could go play for like $75,000 at Fort Worth and just smoke everybody. It's an option, but I'm sure they'll be on teams. But it's weird, dude. That was the one that truly shocked me, the FaZe thing.
Yeah, bro.
Even until the last day, like even when they were down in maps, I'm like, oh, they'll figure it out. They'll be all right.
They weren't. What happens though? Because Zuma, Attach. I mean, name every single one of those players. Like even the new Celium or Celium.
See, I actually, as weird as this is for FaZe, and we don't have to spend a ton of time talking about kind of what happened with them, but I think in a way, it's almost a good thing. Because those guys probably should have broken up in some way or another like a long time ago, but they always would do just good enough to stay together. Like they would suck at 3 tournaments in a row, 1 stage 1 playoffs. Suck at 5 tournaments in a row, get 3rd at champs. Like they would have just enough performances to like keep them together. I think finally this has like forced them to break up, which I know it sucks, but they'll get on teams. They're going to be on top teams within the next couple of months. Like they will.
Do you think so?
Oh, 100%.
I don't see any other way, bro. It's like again, you have names like Zuma, names like Attach.
Priesta might be the hottest commodity of them. He'll be on Team Celium's like an up and comer. Like they're going to be fine.
Yeah.
As far as Reap, I mean, he might be on like the tail end of his career. I don't know whether he's going to try the coaching analyst thing again, or if he's going to. The thing about
Replays is that he's so well versed in every single aspect of Call of Duty that he's like a TP in my opinion.
Yeah, I see.
I mean, obviously TP has sort of transcended in this
past couple months.
In the past couple of months, and hopefully he continues to hopefully there's no ceiling for him and he continues to blow up. But I think Replays is going to be okay. It is these other players that I'm not worried about, but it does get to the point to where you're like, all right, the Attach and Zuma duo, that's been such a FaZe thing for such a long time.
I think the run for that's probably over, and I think it just needed to be. Like I said, like it's like a carrot was dangling in front of them. Like they had just enough of reason to stick together. I think it'll be a good thing in the long run.
Yeah,
but we'll see.
Where do you think you see room for any who needs?
Well, I think 100 Thieves will definitely pick up one of them if I had to guess, because they obviously have been struggling. Their team is supposed to be really good. They've been on the edge. I think they will make a change. Probably one of the guys from FaZe. Like that makes the most sense.
Yeah.
But the other teams that do it, dude, I don't know, because you have all these teams, like those North American amateuring teams, like what do you have? Midnight, Accelerate, UYU, like you have all these squads they could get on.
Yeah.
I guess for me, if I'm a Thatcher or Zuma, I think you have room to pick. Like I think it's less like you worrying about someone coming to you and you just like having your pick of the crop because they're in that top 5.
No, the FaZe Black didn't make it, right? Or they did? No, they didn't make it.
They had a chance though. They almost made it over FaZe. That would have been nuts.
What happens there, right? It's so difficult to.
Well, see, I just don't know what FaZe does because now, I mean, you basically let everybody off your roster, right? I mean, assuming that's what they're going to do. I don't know if there's going to be any official announcement. There's no reason to keep them on and pay them salary right now. So if you're FaZe, I think your best bet's try and buy a spot and then filter in what guys you want to down the road. But who's going to be willing to buy? Who's going to be willing to sell their spots?
Yeah, no
I don't know. And then if we end up, I mean, I don't know details yet, but if we do end up going the franchising route, I don't know how that'll play in. Like FaZe might be in that way down the road.
Yeah, they have to be. A brand like that.
You would think so, yeah.
No, thanks. They have to.
But I'm not worried. Basically, I'm not worried about FaZe. I'm not worried about any of those players. They're gonna be fine. It's just right now it sucks. It sucks real bad. But
yeah, if with TJ and Dashy, I picked. We picked our young gunners, right? The guys that will extend the life cycle of Optic and Call of Duty. The same way that we took Scumpy when he was 17. We have the same sort of scenario with Dashy. Celium, I think that you don't let him go. I think that you figure out a way to put him somewhere. But that sort of talent, Illy, like you keep.
Yeah, it's just, but like you keep for what right now? I guess if you're FaZe for what? Like unless you can get a spot in the league.
Yeah.
Unless you build a team just to rock the amateur side of stuff, I just don't know. I don't know what their thoughts are.
If I'm FaZe, I keep them. I lend them. I pay whatever.
Oh, so they might put them on loan. Yeah. Keep them on the roster, put them on loan. Yeah, that's an option too.
No, that's an investment that you do long term. Period.